How karma carries forward through lifetimes? This question has been asked by several people without really understanding what karma actually is. Karma is kriya, and the effect of the kriya, which is an imprint on the living entity of that organism. We call it the soul. The soul carries the imprint of all your karmas. So, whatever you do follows the equation of cause and effect. You have caused the effect which will occur to you in future, and the future could be immediate, the future could be mid-term, probably in the same lifetime, and the effect can be carried forward through multiple lifetimes. Sometimes there is a very delayed karmic reaction. The actual word is karma, and it has been mispronounced because of the English spelling of K-A-R-M-A. That A is added for the full pronunciation of ma. In Sanskrit, there is a halant ma and there is a full ma. So it is karma. Unfortunately, because of the addition of A, it is now being pronounced as karma. It's not karma, it is karma. Anyway, besides the point. The point is, how does your karma carry forward as an imprint on the soul? Whatever you do is remembered by the universe. Your actions will elicit a reaction. All your actions will elicit reactions. The reactions are time dependent. Sometimes there is instant karma. For example, you attempted to kick a dog and the dog bit you immediately. So you got an instant karma for an action that was not very pleasant. You kicked and the dog bit. That's instant karma. Sometimes the karma happens over a few years. So you did something wrong in the past and it catches up with you probably in the same lifetime, but a number of years later. And a beautiful case in the point is depicted in the movie Dhurandhar, where that Zahur Mistri, who was responsible for the hijack of the Indian plane, was caught up later on after 23 years. Even after hiding his identity, he was identified as the man responsible for the slaughter of that passenger in the hijacked plane. And for that reason, this Zahur Mistri, though he had changed his identity and he was now a seller of wooden articles, furniture, he was identified and killed after 22 or 23 years, but in the same lifetime. Then the classic case of karma catching up is the story of Bhishma Pitamah. Bhishma Pitamah, as you remember in Mahabharata, was lying on a bed of arrows, waiting for death to come, and death was not coming because Bhishma was constantly trying to scan his lifetimes to see where he had done wrong that he deserved such a death. And because his life was not fading out, because his prana was not going out, and Bhishma Pitamah asks him, why me and why this kind of death? I have not done any wrong to anybody for me to deserve this kind of death. And Krishna simply smiles and says, Pitamah, you have the ability to remember past lives. So go back. He says, I've already gone back 25 lives. Nothing. I haven't done anything to deserve this kind of death. He says, go back. So he goes back and back and back till he reaches his 53rd previous life, in which he was a hunter and a chameleon was crossing his path, and he got angry that how dare such a small animal cross his path. So he took out his bow and killed the chameleon. The dead chameleon lay in his path, so that also angered him, the hunter who later on became Bhishma. And then he picked up the dead chameleon with disdain and flung him across. It fell on a bush which had thorns, and several thorns pierced the body of the chameleon. He remembered that sight in his 53rd previous birth. He smiled, looked at Lord Krishna, and he says, now I understood why my body is punctured with multiple arrows. It's the karma that I did 53 births ago that has returned now in my life. So karma is indelible. karma cannot be wiped out. It has to be compensated. The compensation period can be instant karma. I hit somebody and something else hit me back, or that somebody else hit me back. Or it could be like that Zahur Mistri case, 22, 23 years later, he was identified as the person responsible for the Indian Airlines aircraft hijack and the murder of one of the passengers. And he was shot dead in his own establishment, though he had changed his identity and he had changed his appearance. So karma catches up. Karma is an indelible imprint on your soul. Soul is something which carries forward from lifetimes to lifetimes. So whatever you do in each lifetime gets recorded in your soul as a karmic imprint. Both the good and the bad get recorded. So if you have lived multiple lives, all the good things that you have accumulated get imprinted on your soul, and all the negativities that you have indulged in your past are also imprinted indelibly on the soul. So when you acquire a particular life form, and suppose the conditions of your life form, the surroundings in your life form are conducive for one of the karma to get balanced or erased, then that incident will occur in your current lifetime. Sometimes conditions are not conducive, so karma carries forward multiple lifetimes, like in the case of Bhishma Pitamah, 53 lives before karma caught up with him. People who believe in rebirth and multiple lives of the same soul will find this resonating with their thought process. People who do not believe in rebirth will say this is all humbug and these are all stories. So each to his own. Here we are not attempting to force any viewpoint on anybody. Like it, take it. Don't like it, forget it. Karma is a typically Indian concept where we believe as Indians that you are constantly reborn as an attempt to purify yourself. And there have been few instances where the newborn person remembers his past life. One of the reasons why past lives are not remembered is because of the time lapse between one death and the next birth. But in the event that the rebirth happens in a very short duration, then the memory is indelible and persons remember. Few cases, few instances in the world over the history of mankind where a person has remembered his previous birth, but the instances are too few, and that is one of the reasons why people have a question mark over the concept of rebirth. But karma is something which cannot be erased just like that. Karma has to be nullified by counteractions. So beware what you do, because what you do gets printed in your records, and what is printed in your records only you can erase. Nobody else can erase it for you. So take care.